and then that will cause Jake to get shot down by Esau.
Exactly.
So he's basically the leading guy, and you've got all these simple Negroes defending this clown, not realizing that he's set up to deceive you. The scripture says, "Be not deceived, man. For many shall come in my name, saying that I am anointed, man." He's one of them. Took on the name of Yahweh, claiming himself to be anointed, man.
And even,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's a deceiver. So, but Jake's simple. Jake don't go into things, so he don't know. But you had the prophet. You had us telling you. We had us letting you know. We were standing in your streets. You were talking shit on the comment boards. Okay? And now it's gonna be to your ruin. What else was you talking about?
Consulting to all that.
Oh, exactly. Right. What yours, son?
I had a quick one.
Go. Say your word.
This is because the elder was talking about basically these guys are going into the riots like blindly, but really in ancient warfare you consult the Lord first. This is 2nd Chronicles chapter 2, and I'll start from 20, and it says, "Early in the morning they left for the desert of Dakota. As they set out, Jehoshaphat stood and said, 'Listen to me, Judah and people of Jerusalem. Have faith in the Lord your power, and you will be upheld. Have faith in his prophets, and you will be successful.' After consulting the people, Jehoshaphat appointed men to sing to the Lord Yahawah and to praise him for the splendor of his holiness. And as they went out at the head of the army, saying, 'Give thanks to the Lord Yahawah, for his love endures forever.' As they began to sing and praise, the Lord set ambushes against the men of Ammon and Moab and Mount Seir, who were invading Judah, and they were defeated."
See that? The idea of ambushes, man. You know what I'm saying? That came from the God of war, Yahawah, man. That came from him. Knowledge of skill on battlefield, man. That was inspired by the Most High, man. You know ancient men, that were warriors, they all believed in God, you know. Like when you think about great men, they all had faith in some type of deity, man. Because all great warriors they all had their skill from God, man, from some type of deity.
Yeah.
Alright? You understand? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'll start from the beginning again. Deuteronomy 20. When thou goest out to battle against thy enemies, and seest horses and chariots, and the people mourning down, be not afraid of them.
Be not afraid of them, man.
For the Lord Yahawah, Yahawashi, thy power is with thee.
The Lord Yahawah, our God, is with us, man.
Which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Right.
And it shall be, when ye are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people.
Right, so when you come nigh to the battle, the priest shall come to you and speak unto you, go ahead.
And shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto the battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, do not tremble.
Right.
Neither be ye terrified because of them.
Right. So the priest will come into the people. Now, we as prophets, we're also priests. When you go into Revelations chapter 5 verse 9, it says the Most High make us kings and priests. Okay? And we'll reign on the earth. You know what I'm saying? The time's gonna come where we're all gonna, because it was Levi that were the priests. So in ancient times it would be the tribe of Levi that will come forward and say this, that, and the third. But now in the time to come in the kingdom of our heaven, all the tribes are gonna be priests. Okay? It's not just gonna be the tribe of Levi. So that's the natural way things are supposed to be done. Okay? I think there's another one in the Chronicles, man. It goes to what's it, Jehoshaphat, it goes to the king of Judah, goes to the king of Israel. I forget how it goes. But you know that's how it's done. Jehoshaphat goes to the king.
I think too much wrong, man.
How you feeling today, man? Feeling alright?
Yeah? So that's right, man. That's how we won wars, because because we're the prophets, we predict future events. We can actually tell Israel, you're gonna win the battle.
Yeah.
Or if you go forth to battle, you're gonna lose the battle. So when we went to war, we already knew that we was gonna win. So that gave us that boldness and that courage, man. Because we knew we was gonna win, because the prophet said so. So we went to war with that faith, man. Okay? Because we trusted in the prophets.
Spiritual.
You know what I mean? So it was all spiritual. We went to war, we were making them ambushes because the Most High had told us to hide over there. You know why? Because the enemy is not going to suspect you if you do that. And that's how you win. Yeah. So we was, is that a chess, man? You know? The Most High, the God of War, is telling us what to do on the battlefield. Okay? And that's how we won. Go ahead.
This is 1 Kings chapter 22, and I'll start from verse 3. And the king of Israel said unto his servants, Know ye that Ramoth in Gilead is ours, and we be still, and take it not out of the hand of the king of Syria. And he said unto Jehoshaphat, Wilt thou go with me to battle in Ramoth Gilead? And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, I am as thou art, my people as thy people, my horses as thy horses. And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, Inquire, I pray thee, at the word of the Lord Yahawah today.
Right. Inquire of the word of the Lord today, go ahead.
Then the king of Israel gathered the prophets together, about 400 men, and said unto them, Shall I go against Ramoth Gilead to battle?
You see?
Or shall I forbear?
You see? Because they knew that that's the natural process. Let things be done decently and in order. Because you need the blessing of the prophets, man. Like I know when you watch that movie of Dracula, yeah? Bram Stoker's Dracula, in the first part of the movie, he had to get blessings from, for example, the Roman Catholic Church or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He had to get blessings from them to get their approval before he went out to war. And then, because when he was known for impaling his enemies, and then he got a letter saying that his wife killed herself because the Turks sent a fake letter saying that Dracula, he's been killed or something like that. So she read the letter thinking it was true, and then she committed suicide. He comes running back, man, to try and find out what the hell's going on. He went to the priest and everything like that, and said, oh yeah, she's cursed, she killed herself. But the point I'm trying to make is that wherefore he went to war, he always prayed to Mother Mary or whoever God he was praying to. He had the cross because he was a part of the order of the dragon. If you check it, Dracula, he was a part of the order of the dragon. Okay, as was his father, and he went to war defending the Roman Catholic Church. Okay, so he always got blessings from the Roman Catholic Church before he went to war. Man. That's how things was done. That's how things was done in ancient Israel.
Even the pagans did it. People that were given over to that Greek lifestyle in the movie Gladiator. Before he went, every single time he went into the ring or war, he would have those little idols and he'd rub it in the dust and do a prayer. And then he would go to war.
All great men believed in God, man. They might have called him by different names and had different practices and, you know what I'm saying, beliefs, but they knew that in order to win, they needed blessings and favor from their deity, from a higher power. That's what gave them that bravery. Right. How do you think King David was so successful in the battlefield?
This is what he's saying now. This is 2 Samuel 5:22. And the Philistines came up yet again and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim.
Right.
And when David inquired of the Lord,
You see?
Deep, brother, deep.
See that? How do you inquire? Can someone give me first
deep, brother.
Samuel's 9 and 9. Hold it. First Samuel's 9 verse 9. Should I continue? Hold on. So what does that mean, to inquire of the Lord? How do you inquire of the Lord? How do you do that? Do you just fucking start praying or whatever. Like, how do you do that, man?
This is 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of the Most High, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer.
Right.
For he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer.
So that's what inquiring of the Lord means.
Order.
Like, for example, when Rebecca had the two twins struggling together in her room, what did she do? She went to inquire of the Lord, which just means she went to a prophet. It says, in that verse, it doesn't actually say anything about a prophet, but it says she went to inquire of the Lord, and then the Lord said, there are two nations in thy womb. So meaning that's what the prophet said to her. The prophet said, listen, you got two people in your womb that's going to have children, and their children are going to become two nations, and one's going to be stronger than the other. So that's what that means. Alright? So what the prophet said there, when the man went to inquire of the Lord, he went to a prophet. So that's what King David did. Even though King David was a prophet himself.
A prophet went to another prophet.
You know what I'm saying? He was a prophet himself, because in his psalms, in his songs that he'd written, he prophesied of Babylon and Esau, okay? Right? And the deliverance of the elect from the four corners. He prophesied of those things in his psalms, man. You can read about it. Okay? To bind up the kings with fetters of iron and all of that. He wrote about those things because he was a prophet too. But read that again.
This is 2 Samuel 5 and 22. And the Philistines came up yet again and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim.
That's them Hamites, man. Them Sudanese. Them tall, dark-skinned Africans, man. Right? Jumping up and down. Yes, fizz.
Yeah.
With a long neck.
They got that sandpaper skin. Yeah.
They will fight too. They'll put a fight in.
And when David inquired of the Lord, he said, thou shalt not go up, but fetch a compass behind them, and come upon them over against the mulberry trees.
You see that? That's war tactics, man. He's saying don't go up against them straightway. Go up some other way. Read again.
There's more also.
Read again.
And when David inquired of the Lord,
So meaning he went to a prophet, the prophet said, listen, this is what the God of war is going to tell you to do. Well,
he said, thou shalt not go up, but fetch a compass behind them,
fetch and compass behind them. Well,
and come upon them over against the mulberry trees.
yeah, so basically come up behind them, man. Don't go straight way.
Yeah.
Or go round, man.
Because compass means to circle
You have
around.
to go around.
Oh.
You see that? So the God of war is saying, listen, don't be blatant with your shit. Like, come up, like, be stealthful about it.
Yeah.
That's like all the ninja shit. That's ninja tactics, man. That's ninja, yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 24, and let it be, when thou hearest the sound of a going in the tops of the mulberry trees.
Can you hear what?
The sound of a going in the tops of the mulberry trees. That then thou shalt bestir thyself, for then shall the Lord's power go out before thee to smite the host of the Philistines.
Right. So exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It was God that really won the war, because it was him that advised David to do it.
Yeah.
And if it hadn't been for God, the Most High's advice, he wouldn't have won.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because he told David, don't go out straight way against us. So if David was simple and just went out straight way, he would have been destroyed.
He would have lost the war.
He would have lost the war. Because he sought counsel from the prophets, and then the prophets gave him the word of the God of war, Yahawah, he was victorious. So that's what we're trying to tell you, NF, no fucking around with your big titles, man. No fucking around coalition, man. The coalition of the simple, man. You know what I mean?
You only need one shot. He said. That's what he said.
You know what I'm saying? You got any more?
Yeah, the end it off of this. And David did so as the Lord had commanded him, and smote the Philistines from Geba until they'll come to Gaza.
See, so there's different type of tactics. You can retreat. You can retreat from the enemy, and then the enemy will think that, yeah, see, we've won. They know they're weaker. That's why they retreated. So let's chase them. So so another tactic was you can retreat, making the enemy think that you've retreated, just to lure them in. So that's how you can bring in another group or a regiment of troops and attack them from the rear. You know what I mean? You can lure them into a valley and stone them, stones. So the Most High gave us tactics on how to win battles, man. And it all came from Yahawah. When you see all these armies, man, all these wars on planet Earth that's ever existed and all the tactics they use, they got that from us, man.
Right.
They got that from the prophets. Because it tells you how you had expert men, valiant in war in Genesis. That all came from Yahawah, man.
Yahawashi was in, when we left Egypt, right, that was a war tactic. Because the Lord had us looking like we were running into the sea, but then Yahawashi was in a chariot, and he made that fire come down and stop the Egyptians. And then when we got through, he took the fire away, and then they went into the sea and drowned.
Yeah, we lured them.
That's a straight up war tactic.
It's a war tactic. The Most High opened up the sea. They went in and the Most High, destroyed them, man. You see? So war really came from us, man. It really came from the Most High. Okay? What's I to say, bro?
Yeah, you were saying about how all the ancient prophets consulted the Most High before they went to war. And a great example of that is King Saul, because when he started to disobey the Most High, that's when the Most High took his spirit from him and he said, you're going to die tomorrow and your son. And that's when Saul was trying to do everything to try and consult the Richard Endor. And Samuel come and told him, you're going to die. So no matter what he did at that point, once the Most High sanctioned his death, it was game over for him.
It was game over for him. And he died a gruesome death. When you look into it, they took his head off and they sold his torso to the wolf. And they did that to his son as well, Jonathan. So he died a gruesome death. Them Philistines, they butchered him, man. They made an example out of him, man. Okay? And really that was the Most High doing it. Alright? It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God, man. Okay? So, so as God, this all goes back to this sign of brotherhood, nation against nation, man. So the Most High is mustering the spirit, the hosts, the armies of these different people, these different militia groups in America. You got the Ku Klux Klan, and you got the Black Panthers, man. But they look effeminate as hell, man. There's women among them and shit, man. With bandanas, guns and shit. I'm looking, I'm thinking, get your ass in the house, man. You know what I'm saying? You got Black Panthers there. You know what I'm saying? You got the No Fucking Around Coalition. You got the neo-Nazis. You got the Bible Belt Christians.
Yeah.
You got them what's it? What do you call them people? Them preppers, doomsday preppers, man. Them Second Amendment rights activists, devils,
You even got the what is it? You even got those Masons, man. Those ones that are just coming out, declaring themselves, you know?
Yeah.
They're coming out in droves too.
The Satanists, man.
Yeah.
I saw them devils. At least I'm being honest, man. They came out with a little black flag, the little black eyes, looking all blacked out. So even they're coming around. It's the time and age where everybody's just exercising their rights, man.
Yep.
That's why I call this place Babylon. The word Babylon means confusion. It means confusion, man. Because it's a place where there's all kind of spiritualities, man. But when you go back to ancient Israel, we all had one power, man.
Right.
One practice, one different rituals, one belief system, one ordinance. We all followed the same laws and commandments. There was no confusion. There was order. We're showing you that Babylon, there's no order in it because everybody's just fucking, excuse my language, everyone's just doing whatever, man.
And you know what too as well, what really destroyed this civilization as a whole. And I like what you said there, because you know, it's very true. Because in ancient Israel, and not even just in ancient Israel, but even in all societies prior, all of the nations were under the same boat as their king. They all worshipped the same gods as their king. Like the Babylonians at the time, right? The Assyrian Empire, they had a god and they kept to that god. There was no, I believe this and I believe that. Everybody was rocking with the same doctrine. But in this society now, in this particular empire, even in ancient Rome, They were all together in ancient Rome, you know? But in this particular world, this empire here, everybody's been given this false sense of rights or power. Hence you get the term democracy. The word democracy means, what is it? Power to the people. The word Christi means people. Rule. Christi means rule, demo meaning people. Right. So people have been given this notion, this idea that they have their rights. And with that came other belief systems.
Right.
You know, this is why we're able to do what we're doing. This is why, you know, you have, who else, man? You know, the Masons, they're able to, you know, basically show what they got to the table, their beliefs. And then you got the whole, what is it, the homosexual community. Yeah. They're doing their thing, right? And you got so it's just so much different philosophies of people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that just breeds confusion.
It's confusion.
And this is why you have what you have right now. This is why you have, and even the Black Lives thing as well. But it all reverts back to one thing though. It reverts back to what they want. And what they want is confusion. Right. To bring what? A new world system, a new world order. Right. But the thing about it is that if you've conditioned the people, right, to have their own rights and beliefs, you can't now retract. You can't back people's minds up to just think one way. It's going to be very difficult for them to get their one world order going. Because what we were taught we had democracy. So now the new world order is saying, well, okay, it's one thing under us. You can't do that. You see, what they really should have did is they should have set up the new world order system way from day dot. Don't brainwash the people with the idea they can do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. And they say, we're going to set up a new world order. Nah, and that's how you know where they're going to work. Right. Somebody can be up Job 20 I believe it's 18, man. It says, in the fullness of this sufficiency, they shall be in straits. I believe it's verse 8, Job 20 and 8.
Yeah,
because the Black Lives Movement is just a set-up movement by George Soros. That's all it is. And them people ain't doing anything anyway. All they doing is they just getting more people influenced under their rule. That's all it is. Them guys ain't doing anything, man. Go on, bro.
This is Job 20 and 22.
Oh, it's 22, okay.
In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits.
Yeah.
Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
Yeah, meaning it's going to be very hard for them to get this one world system going. It's going to be very difficult. That's what the term straits means, a position of difficulty. So because they've already brainwashed the mass of the people to believe in whatever they wanted to believe in, now it's going to be severely difficult to just say, look, it's a one world thing. You're going to come and worship us now. No, it ain't going to operate like that. You understand? Because you got people that are homosexuals, they have their rights. You got people that are Christians, they have their rights. They feel as though they have their saying, they have their freedoms and rights, right? Everybody feels like they have their rights. You see? So this thing ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. And the ultimate reason why it won't work, because it's not preordained to work. You know, and when you look at this society as it stands, it don't work anyway. Because everybody's got their own different beliefs.
That's right.
Like the scripture says, can a house, if a house be divided against itself, how can it stand? This is a destroyed system. It's already destroyed. Because when we set up our kingdom, which this is what we're going right now, we're only transitioning to a new kingdom, which is our kingdom, which is heaven. Right? What do you think is going to happen? Everybody's going to be governed under the same rule. That's why it says in the book of Isaiah, the 2nd chapter. Somebody can get me that. Isaiah chapter 2, what does that say? Hear what you got anyway, bro.
Verse 23, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him.
Wow.
And he shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
And he shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So when they're about to get their knife and forks ready to eat their delicious dinner that they got prepared, that's when the Most High is going to destroy them with missiles, man. Because this place is going out by way of a nuclear war. And that's something that most people are unaware of. Most people are unaware of a nuclear war. That's happening. So meanwhile, people are, getting on in the spirit of George Floyd and the COVID-19 and this and that and the third. War is being prepared. You see? This ain't nothing but a distraction. Now, is this something to look at? Yeah, of course. Because it involves our people. It involves
A lot of
the
drama.
scriptures too, because the scriptures speak about Jacob and the war between Jacob and Esau. So we can speak on those things, but the main thing we gotta focus on is the prophecies, man. And speaking of prophecies, prophecy states that England, America, and all of its allies, they're gonna go to war. Okay, and what's also gonna happen in the midst of this war? They're gonna turn against America and blow them to smithereens. That's what's gonna happen. And so that's all I wanted, brother. You give me the book of Isaiah chapter 2. Because in our world, everybody's going to worship. It's going to be one doctrine. Somebody get Ephesians, the 4th chapter.
Right, this is the book of this is the book of Isaiah chapter 2 from the top.
Yeah, from the top.
Verse
You get
1.
Ephesians, the 4th
And it says, the word that Isaiah the son of Amoz saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountain.
Meaning we're going to be established above everybody. All of the governments around the world, we're going to be established above them. Okay? And really what's going to happen is the people, they're not going to have their own governments. They're going to be servants under us. Once they serve us for 1,000 years straight, we'll give them back their portion. But they're still going to be tributaries under us. All right? So even yet and still, they're still going to keep the commandments and excuse me, let me reiterate what I'm saying. They're still going to keep the statutes and commandments and laws that comes from us. Let's get that.
And it says, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it.
And all nations shall flow unto it. Go on.
And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the power of Jacob.
Right, into the house of the power of Jacob. Who's the power? First and foremost, let's get one thing established there. Who is Jacob? Who are the descendants of Jacob today? We are those descendants. Okay, those people over there in the Israeli land, they're not the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They're what you call fraudsters, man. They're what you call implants that are acting as though that they're us, but they're not. Okay? Their line goes back to Abraham, Isaac and Esau. That's where they go back to. They're no descendants of Jacob. They never have, they never will be. Going, brother.
And he will teach us of his ways.
Because check this out. The so-called Jews, they're in power right now, aren't they? That prophecy should be taking place right as we speak. You don't see nations born over there by groups, wanting to learn their ways. Oh, I want to learn this law, brother. You know, how do I keep the Sabbath, brother? You know what I mean? You don't hear that. You know what I'm saying? Growing the little twirly things on the side. You don't see that amongst the nations, man. All right. Matter of fact, the world hates their guts. So does that prophecy simply mean because it's not coming to pass, it's not going to come in effect? No, it's going to come in effect in the future. This is something that's going to happen in the future. Go on, brother.
And we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law.
He will walk in his paths. So all of the nations are going to walk in the paths of the nation of Israel. That's what's going to happen. There's not going to be, I believe in Solomonism, or I believe in this religion, or I believe in that religion. No, it's going to be one thing, okay? And that one thing is going to be the doctrine of Yahawah, Hasham, Yahawashi. That's where it's going. All of this confusion out here, it ain't going to be this. This is just like, all we're learning of this world here is this is just like what's it?
How not to be.
This is a world of how not to be. Where you have people that have their different beliefs and therefore causing confusion. Because in order for you to have a well-set house, a well-set economy, you have to have the people on the same level. They have to be on the same level as you. They all have to agree. The scripture says two cannot walk together except they agree. How would we rule the nations if they don't agree with our doctrine? We're going to have a very hard time ruling the nations if they're not agreeing with what we're saying. Rather than that, you're going to have rebels. Let's continue on. We're not going to have rebels in the kingdom. So what Esau did, Esau pretty much provoked the rebel within the people by giving them the idea that they can be whatever they want to be.
Yes.
They can even change their ball sack to a vagina, or vagina to a ball sack, right? So Esau took it that far. So now people have the ultimate right, and they feel like they got all of the power that they got to do what the fuck they want to do. Excuse my language. trying to keep it clean, you know what I'm saying? Go on, brother, read that.
And we will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Right, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem, man. So the word of the Lord is going to go forth out of Jerusalem. And who's Jerusalem? We are the Jerusalem. We bring this sign over here, man. We're the Jerusalem that the Bible talks about. We are the real Jews. The same so-called Negroes that went on cargo slave ships, right? And that are suffering today under the curses of Deuteronomy 28 are those people, all right? These are the people of Israel. You so-called, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. We are Jerusalem. We make up Israel. Okay, those people over there in Israel today, they're there for a reason. And prophecy states that they would be there anyway. You know? Go on, bro.
Click on that. Revelation 21 and 2. And then I saw New Jerusalem, the holy city, coming down from the Most High in heaven.
Yeah, so John saw the New Jerusalem coming down from heaven. What does this mean? Meaning that he saw all of the brethren that was further in his ministry being delivered, and those that followed behind the ministry. He saw them being delivered, and when all of the smoke cleared, right, when the war was done or whatever, he saw them coming back down to establish the new kingdom physically on earth. You see? Because the Christians teach that when you die, there's two places you're going to go. You're going to go in hell or you're going to go in heaven. No, that's not true. Heaven and hell are conditions played here on earth. The so-called white man, beginning with the banking elite, the banking dynasties around the world, they are in the heaven right now. We're in hell. And when you look up the term hell simply means it refers back to the grave. Where is the grave? The grave is like underground. So when you look at the term hell, it just means a lower condition. Heaven means a higher estate or condition. That's all it is. Ain't nothing to it. Go on, brother.
Yeah, back in Isaiah 2, verse 3. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Right, so it says out of Zion shall go forth the Lord, out of Jerusalem, man. So that's how we going to rule the nations, by the commandments of the Lord. That goes all the way back. If you can, brother, give me the book of Exodus 25. I believe it's 24, 25, where Moses went to Mount Sinai. Somebody can get me that? Because prior, before Moses and we becoming Israelites, the law was oral. People already knew about the law already, but there came a time now when the law had to make the law applicable so that we can all see together. But it's going to go back to being oral pursuant to Hebrews the 8th chapter, the new covenant. That's the beautiful thing about it. I believe it's either 24, 25. It talks about Moses went to Mount Sinai.
Yes, Exodus 24 and 16.
I think we'll start from verse.
There's aura around us, you know. That's why the birds feel comfortable around us, you know.
Or 14, start from verse 14.
Okay. This is Exodus 24 and 13. And Moses rose up, and his minister Joshua, and Moses went up into the mount of the Most High. And he said unto the elders, tarry ye here for us until we come again unto you. And behold,